Okay, a quick another head, heart, and handwork. So it occurred to me I had some more treasures that I found at Christmas, and I should probably share them with you. This is one of them. Isn't this cute? It's a little itty bitty weaver. Now, exactly one tooth is missing and one is broken, which makes me bummed. But they're not metal. It's like stiffened cardboard. So I don't know if I can repair this or if I even want to. It's kind of cool though. The reason why this one broke is whoever did the last bit of weaving on it left it in. And that was probably a good 40, 50 years ago. So I just thought it was kind of cool. I'm going to see if I can't talk to someone about fixing it. I'm not sure how, but let's see what we can do. And the other thing I found, and this is really useful for me because I'm a knitter too, I found a darting mushroom. I have a couple of mushrooms eggs that my kids carved in their woodworking class at their Waldorf school. And I've been using this for a really long time as a darning egg, but it's hard to hang onto. And this has a nice handle. And I used this to not darn a sock, but I used it to, bury the ends because I did the heels and the toes in a different color. And this made it so much easier to do. So this now lives in my basket, my work basket, which is next to my chair. So the next time I got to fix something I need that, I've got it right there. This, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might try weaving something on it and then, that's not a bad idea. I could weave something on it and put it like on the wall, make it a little decoration since the one tooth is broken off completely. Ooh, that's actually not a bad idea. I'm going to think about that. So anyways, hope you're having a great day and happy crafting. Okay, so this is a head, heart, and handwork, and I'm being lazy because I've tried to make this twice and TikTok ate it. So we're going to try again. So I joined the 25/7 challenge on Facebook, and this is a challenge where you work on a project for either 25 minutes a day or 25 stitches, 7 days a week. And I just wanted to record my progress with last week, so I'm still in the middle of this week. So here's where I started last Sunday on the 1st. And it was a pretty good week. Now, I worked on this for more than just the 25 minutes a day. Most days. Some days it was, in fact, just the 25 minutes. But this is how it looked at the end of the week on Saturday the 7th. Now, as you can see, I got quite a bit done. I got a little bit on the left side, the interior outline, and I got the first letter in and 3 Roman numerals. This project is enormous. It is the French alphabet sampler by Blessings Counted. It's using dragon's blood silk from hand-dyed fibers. It's a premium silk. So 1 strand of this stuff is the equivalent of 2 strands of like regular floss. So I love it. It has the coverage. It's custom dyed for me, so it's on its own spool. So I just pull it off and I can just stitch. It is enormous. It is 411 stitches square, which turns out to be the working area, or the worked area is 26 inches. The piece of fabric, because you always need enough to drape over, is 32 inches square. And I don't remember what the fabric is. It's going to take me a really long time. Now, what's really cool about it is it's a custom pattern. It was made for me by Blessings Counted, and it is all of my family's initials. Myself, my husband, and my 4 children. Our initials are hidden in it. So the alphabets will be switched around so that our initials appear. And I think our birthdays are worked into it as well. I ordered this, like 2 weeks after my youngest was born because I knew the youngest was the youngest. I was done. And it's been sitting in my stash for almost 14 years. So I'm finally working on it because I had the time and the mental energy. And that's where I'm at. And I'll get back to it again next month. Thanks. Have a wonderful evening. Good afternoon. And this is a head, heart, and handwork thingy. And this is just an update on this last week's 25/7 challenge. So I'm a knitter too. I actually do a ton of crafts. It's not even funny. So I thought I'd throw not just my stitching, my cross stitching, but I would also throw in my knitting into the 25/7 challenge. So that way I get my knitting done as well. Go figure. So I got a couple of projects to look at. So this week I was working on the Autumn Quaker by Plum Street Samplers with the suggested threads. And this is where I started last Sunday on the 8th. And after working on it for 6 days, I didn't get all 7, for a minimum of 25 minutes a day. This is where I ended up. Now, as you can see, I didn't get a whole lot done. Let's talk about that. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. I've never done green. Okay, so I got this leaf done, and I got this half of this motif. And that's all I managed to get done this week. Let's talk about that. Okay, here's the chart. There's my finger. Where'd it go? Hey, there's the finger. And I had actually gotten stitched all the way over to here, almost. And then I noticed a mistake. Way over here. And I had to rip it out. And then I noticed there was a mistake. Where's my finger? Right on this side, on the right side. Drove me crazy. I had to rip out a couple hours worth of work. I hate it when I make mistakes. I mean, I got almost all the way around, and then I noticed I made a mistake all the way back, like from the day before. And then I had to rip everything out. It took me like 2 hours worth of work. I had to rip it out, and then I'm trying to line it up. You know, you kind of look across like, okay, does this line up? Does this line up to this? Why isn't this lining up? Why isn't this side that I just ripped out is not what I did with 2 days ago? Over here 2 days ago. I made a mistake over here too. So I got angry at it, and I went, I'm not working on you anymore. So I didn't work on it on Saturday. Anybody else ever do that? They get so pissed off at a piece of crafty stuff they're working on that you're like, that's it. I'm not looking at you anymore. You've made me angry, and I don't like you anymore. So go away. And so that's kind of where I was. So, I'm out of time. So that was this week's cross stitch. Give me a minute, and I'll do one about this week's 25/7 knitting. Okay, part 2 of me looking at my work from this last week. Again, from the first one. So just to start off, I do way too many crafts. I have a crafting stash that is huge. I've done needlework since I was 5, and I dabble in a lot of things. It's really sad. Anyways, so my other primary, the 2 that I love are cross stitch and knitting. I started knitting 14 years ago. I started doing cross stitch in 1988 when I was in high school. So, so like I knit the sweater. This is a love note by, I want to say Tin Can Knits, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, so I had a couple things I've been wanting to knit and been kind of putting it off because new techniques. You know, you're trying something new. It's really hard to get over that hump of, I can do this. And I spent all this money on this yarn. And, you know, yarn ain't cheap, especially when you're a big person like me. I got to have a lot of yarn. So if I'm going to make a sweater, I want it to look good. And especially with this new technique. So I am knitting Descent, which I don't remember who it is. Sorry. The yarn is from Neighborhood Fiber Company. And it's a cardigan with steeking, something I've never done before. And stranded color work. Now I set out to learn how to do this because it's really cool. Stranded color work is when you're working with 2 or more yarns, making a pattern in the knitting as you go. So you get a pattern. Now this Descent one is inspired by RGB's Descenting collar. So it just has a little bit, just at the yoke, which is the very beginning of the front of the sweater. It's only 46 stitches. Haha, I wish. 46 rows deep. So I finally got over myself and I'm like, okay, I know what I've been doing. I've been practicing this. I've done a couple of things in color work that looks fine. I know what I'm doing. So I finally picked it up and worked on it every day this week, including Saturday. So this was the one thing I touched every day. So let me get a picture of it up. Okay, so there it is. It's not a whole lot. The blue is Neighborhood Fiber Company, the blue and the orange. And the blue is a limited edition. You can only get it at this one shop in Alexandria, Virginia. And see this cute little hedgehog? That is my progress keeper. So starting last Sunday, where that hedgehog was, I knit all the way to where the up here, which is where I'm working, where the live stitches are. So it's not very far. I'm on like row 15, but again, I'm a big person, so that's where I'm at. Okay, this is a head, heart, and handwork, and I accomplished a thing. So, you know, a lot of us who use embroidery hoops cover the inside ones. So this is one of the ones that's the antique one that I inherited, and it was already covered in fabric. Thank you, grandma, auntie. I'm not sure who did it, but you know, hey, they did something for me. Well, before I got my hands on these wonderful antiques, I had gone to the store and bought a brand new wooden hoop. Now, I know you can go to Michael's and get wooden hoops. They're really cheap on Amazon, but I've always found that they don't, well, I'll be frank, they feel like crap. They're cheap and it feels like that. So I did some research about different hardwood hoops and I purchased one. Ta-da! Now it would have made sense. Hang on, let me go figure out the brand. Okay, so I had to go hunting. I found it. This is a Hardwick Manor hoop. It's made in Germany out of beechwood. This one is a little over 5 inches from the outside to the outside. The cool thing about Hardwick Manor hoops is that they have different widths. So like if you want to hold on to something thin and kind of cute like I do, this one is 5/16 thick. Okay, now that the child is not making noise in the kitchen anymore. Again, this is 5/16 thick. They make 7/8 and there's one more in the middle. It's like a 1/2 inch. It's like 5/8. I really like this one, but the thing that I did is I covered it. So hopefully I went to my local fabric store and got some cotton twill, and then I know it's kind of hard to see. I kind of did it on the diagonal, wrapping it around, and then I just sewed it on. It's not glued on here at all. Now I get to see if it actually works, or as in works as in will this stay on without falling off. I did kind of see it here. When I folded it over, I sealed the edge. So hopefully that'll stay put and stay together in one piece. I've never used these hoops before, but I really like the way it feels in hand. It feels like it's a much better quality, which I should hope so because I paid good money for it at my local needlework store, which is Acorns and Threads. So that's where I got it. And I'm really looking forward to trying this one out and see how it feels in hand, actually working with it. So have a wonderful weekend as it's Friday night. I'm flying down to the Bay no, I'm not flying to the Bay Area anymore. I'm flying into Sacramento to go take my kid to another medical procedure. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone.